Hello everyone. Now that we have seen what Power Query is, let us look at the problem statement. Now I am going to describe to you what the problem statement is, but I would suggest that you pause the video, go through all the files and try to figure out yourself what are the issues that you have in the data and how do you feel you will have to handle it. So you can pause the video right now, have a look at all the files and then come back. The resources have been given in the resources folder, section 002 Power Query, and we have the model folder. So make sure to go through every single file, make your own notes, and then come back and we will discuss the problem statement. Welcome back everyone. I hope all of you have gone through all the files and you have a sense of what data we are working with. This is the problem statement. You are the data analyst who has been hired by a consumer goods company and you're expected to create a Power BI dashboard. Now that part, remember, comes much later. The first task that you have to perform is to go through all the files and essentially combine the files together and do all the requisite data cleaning and data preparation. Now the problem is that the sales MIS team has given you 4 datasets. So there is one folder which has 3 files for 3 years, and then there is another folder that has a single file for the current year. Let's have a look. So in the sales historical folder, we have the data for 3 years, 2011, 2012 and 2013. Let me open one of these files. So this is how the file looks, everyone. It's quite a large file. We have about 9,000 records in it. And it's very similar to the dataset that we used for the level 1, where we did data visualization. So here we have the row ID, order date, ship date, ship mode, customer ID, customer name, business segment, city, state, country, postal code, market, the region, followed by the product ID, subcategory, product name, sales quantity, cost of goods sold, and the shipping cost. Now the data seems complete, but there are a few things that are missing. Number 1, we know the subcategory, but we do not know the parent. That means we do not know which category do these subcategories belong to. So that is the other part of the problem statement. The marketing team has given you a different data set which has the mapping. So it tells you which subcategory belongs to which category. Let's open that file and have a look. So now I'm going to open the category file. This is how the file looks, everyone. You can see here we have the 17 subcategories and we have the 3 categories. So the first 4 fall under furniture, the next 9 fall under office supplies, and the next 4 fall under category technology. So there are 3 categories, each of them have 4, 9 and 4 respectively. Now imagine if you had to do this in Excel using a VLOOKUP or an XLOOKUP. Typically what we would do is to create a blank column. Then we will say that this is the category. We will have to come back to our original Excel file. First, I'll have to fill up all the blank cells like this. And finally, I can do a XLOOKUP where we are searching for chairs, comma, we are searching in column B, comma, we are searching in column A for the result. And you notice it works. Now you might say, Havishiv, this is so easy using XLOOKUP, and that is something that we are all familiar with. Why do we have to do this in Power Query? So there are a couple of reasons for that. 1, this is very manual. You are expected to add a column, write a formula, and then copy paste the formula in all the cells. And remember, this is only one of the files. Like this, there are 4 files that we have. So tomorrow when more data gets added, you will again have to refresh and update the formula. So there is no part of this that can be automated. Also, because you're writing a formula in Excel, there is a high possibility of an error happening. Finally, even if you have written it properly, if you share this with someone else, then there has to be a knowledge transfer because you have to explain to the other person what you have done. Due to all these reasons, this is not the correct approach. We don't want to do this in Excel, which is how we usually do it. On the contrary, we would like to do this in Power Query. Let's go back to the folder. Now, similar to our 2011 data, we have 2012 and 2013 as well. They all have different number of rows, but the columns are exactly the same. Then we have the sales current. Now, this one is a little different if all of you observe carefully. In the historical data, if you look at the order ID has been given in a single column. But in 2014, the order ID has been given in 3 parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3. One more time, in the historical data, my city, state, and country have been given in 3 separate columns. But in the 2014 data, it has been given in a single column. Now, what could be the reason for it? Why is it that the data structure is not matching exactly? There could be many reasons. Maybe there is a different person who is preparing the data. Maybe you have shifted to a new software, and that's why the data is intact. All the fields are there. It's just that it has been represented a little differently. Again, we can fix this in Excel directly if we wanted to, but that would not be the ideal approach. We want to fix this in Power Query directly in Power BI so that we can automate the process. And the final file that we have has been given from the operations team. So we've already seen that the sales MIS team has given us 4 data sets, 3 for the historical data, 1 for the current. Then we have the marketing team that has given us the mapping file to tell us how the category connects with the subcategory. And then finally, the operations team has given us 1 data set, which is on the discount. Now, on each transaction, we are offering a discount. But the way the discount works is that it depends on 2 factors, the dispatch time as well as the order size. Let's look at the file. So this is our discount file, everyone. You can see that here we have 4 order priorities and we have the shipping time and then the corresponding discount percentage. For example, a high order priority with a 4-day shipping will be given a 5% discount. Let's take an example. If I go back to my historical data, let's open one of these transactions. And we are looking at a transaction like this one. Now you notice here that the transaction size is 6,999. And if I scroll to the left, you can see that the order was placed on the 14th of December and it was dispatched on the 21st of December. Hence, the dispatch time was 7 days. Now, according to that logic, because our order size is more than 5,000, it's a critical order and we have a 7-day dispatch time. Hence, a 7-day dispatch time along with the critical order will be given a 25% discount. That is the way we have to calculate it. Now, it doesn't seem that difficult, but then we still have to get all of these in one single location, right? Because every time we can't do it manually. And while VLOOKUP is a good alternative, it is not an alternative that we would typically want to use when we are working with Power BI. Power BI, remember, is not just about data visualization. It also is a very powerful data preparation tool. That is what we want to focus on in this example.